This episode of Matt's Jackson Balls is proudly brought to you by Hooded Life, your one-stop shop for all your bowling club needs, both on and off the green, in collaboration with Bowlswear Australia. Best service, best product. This episode of Matt's Jackson Balls is proudly brought to you by Hooded Life, your one-stop shop for all your bowling club needs, both on and off the green, in collaboration with Bowlswear Australia. Best service, best products, competitive prices. Go to www.hoodedlife.com.au and get hooded. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Matt's Jackson Balls Live. So tonight I have two guests who are very heavily involved in parabowls and promoting disabilities in life itself. So introducing two good friends of mine, Lucas Protopapas and Gary Cantwell. Hang on, Lucas has disappeared. That's a good start.
I can see him.
You can see you.
I can see Lucas too.
No, you can. I can't. Oh, this is a good start, isn't it? Well, I'm sure everyone's completely used to me stuffing this up. How many live streams do I do where I stuff something up? Here we go. And we should have Lucas on board. There we go.
Hey.
How are we, guys?
Thank you tonight, mate. It was good.
Yeah, good start.
Yeah.
So, look, tonight I've got the guys on.
Hi, Matt.
I've got the guys on board because I was actually having a chat with Gary the other day while we were at Peronia Bowls Club, and we're just talking about disabilities and how that works into bowls. But first of all, look, we'll get stuck in. Everybody knows Lucas, but we'll get to Lucas soon. So, Gary, we'll just talk to you firstly. So, first question I'll ask is, how did you get involved in bowls to start with, without going into your history too much, because we'll get to that?
No, I went to the local bowls club and I joined.
Oh, that's good. Thanks for that long story.
No,
All right.
I was exposed to bowls just quickly when I was a kid on the farms down at Simpson in Western Victoria. My uncle and auntie played bowls, so they were farmers. And then I always thought one day I'll play bowls. And I used to do athletics. I thought one day when I can't run, I'll play bowls. But then I retired. And then I thought, I'll go and join a bowls club. That's how I started.
Oh, there we go. So just going back over your personal history a little bit. So you started running in high school. So that was your main sport sort of growing up.
Yes, it was. Thanks. Yep, it was. And I continued on and I started work. I left school when I was 15 and started as a butcher and apprentice, and I thought I'd do a sport, so I joined the local athletics club.
Yep. And even before sport, I read somewhere that in middle high school you actually rode all the way from Melbourne to Albury.
Yep. When I was 14, a mate and I rode from Melbourne to Albury over the September school holidays. We were away for 2 weeks.
Jesus,
the Hume Highway was single lane. There was no double lane.
Oh, and you rode all that at the age of 14?
Yep.
That's nuts. Anyway.
It was fun.
Yeah, might be fun for some. I don't know how I'd go riding along bloody B doubles all the way to friggin' Albury.
It was fun. It was good. It was still got a mate gave me the diary a few months ago. We kept, and it's got a record of how much it costs us each day to live. You know, it was like 10 cents for a sausage roll.
I was going to say $1 or $2 a day.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
See, Lucas wouldn't know anything about those times where you go to the milk shop, grab your 2-cent lollies, and you fill the bag up with lollies.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually just opened. I saw it the other day.
Back in my time.
Was this back in 1980 something, or is this in the 70s or 60s, or what?
It was back in the late 70, early 70s.
Jeez, yeah, okay, Lucas, I'm not that old.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, I could ride a bike before you were born, so there you go.
So, look, you got actually pretty serious about your running, Gaz. Just having a look.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, go on.
I wasn't serious. You're never good enough, mate. It's like you, Lucas. You're never good enough to play. There's always someone better than you. So you train with the best people, and you start running good. And I was the same with athletics. I was okay at school, and I started running, and then I got a coach, and then it started getting hard because I had a coach. I had to do things and train, and then it became an addiction. Running becomes an addiction. Suddenly you're out there. Suddenly, all of a sudden, I'm running 2 days a week. Twice a day, 6 days a week. I got up to about 160.
You were only 10 minutes. You were only 10 minutes off the Olympic selection times for a marathon.
Yep.
10 minutes is nothing.
10 minutes in a marathon's a long while.
Yeah, righto. I think if I ever did a marathon, I'd probably take 6 hours, let alone. What was your time? Hang on.
I can't look at it.
I've got it here. 2 hours, 31 minutes.
Yep.
Jeez. So, all right, just may as well bring it up. I don't know how we bring it up. So, Gary had a pretty serious accident back in the day, which resulted in pretty serious injuries, etc. So, Gary, how old were you when the accident happened?
I was 27.
Okay, so not going to go into the particulars about it, but it was pretty serious to the point that you were in a coma for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then
I was in a coma a couple of weeks. Yep. I was run over by a car, and I was in a coma for a couple of weeks, and then rehab for
6 months.
Yep. And I was very lucky because my injuries were such that they wanted to put me in full-time, in permanent care for the rest of my life.
Yep.
But mum and dad actually fought to have me put in rehab so I could have a chance maybe to have a better life. And
that's
you get to bowl with me, yeah. So there you go.
Well, I will thank your mum and dad next time I see them.
Okay.
So this is just to sort of delve further into it. So you got acquired cerebral palsy from it.
Yeah. Okay. Acquired cerebral palsy is an acquired head injury. Okay.
Yep.
So Lucas was born with cerebral palsy. I have acquired cerebral palsy. So I have head injuries.
Yep.
Which affects my speech. I still dribble a little bit. My coordination, my mobility, and particularly my balance, and my concentration.
Yeah, righto.
If I'm tired, I don't function properly.
Yep. So, all right. So I'll get on to this. So tell us a bit. So you're doing something now called Living Our Best Life Social Prescription Project. So tell us a bit about that.
Okay. Thanks for this, Matt. Living Our Best Life is a social prescription project. And social prescription is connecting lonely people and isolated people back into the community. Now, it's not just something that's happening here in Melbourne. It's part of the National Health Scheme in the UK. So doctors prescribe people that they think are lonely and are isolated, and they need that social connection. Having a social connection is far better than some medications and things you get. So what they do is they refer them to community connectors in England. Leanne, a lovely lady, went to England once and studied the process, and she came back and wanted to start it here in Victoria, in Melbourne, in Knox, and I was the first community connector brought on board to do that. So what we do is there's doctors, allied health professionals, i.e. physios, they refer people to us, and we work with those people individually to connect back into society. And one of the methods we do that is with a talking cafe. I hosted a talking cafe today in Baronia, and we have them one in French Gully, and I'm actually getting paid a little bit of money now part time to work for the project, and I'm expanding it to other local government areas or councils.
Yep.
So now we've got 9 of them started in the last 12 months.
Oh, nice.
So it's a really valuable project. It's really cool.
Yep.
To see the change in people's lives. Yeah.
No, that's good, mate. No, I know you're heavily involved with that kind of stuff. Now, you also won Citizen of the Year in 2022 for the Knox City Council. Now,
yep.
I've got a little bit of video here, and we'll just show everybody the video. We'll just chuck this on quickly.
In the mornings I move the car or go outside, there's people going to work, or it might be raining, and I'll give them a lift to the station. And through that now, when they wave to me, I know who they are, they know who I am, and we wave to each other. The lady next door is Chinese, and we see her in the garden, and I started talking to her. She doesn't talk any English, or very little English, and I certainly don't talk Chinese, but we love talking to each other. She tries to teach me a bit of Chinese, I teach her a bit of English, and quite often I'll drive her down the street if she wants a lift, or if it's raining or something like that. I believe it's important to connect to your neighbours because it gives a sense of community. It also gives a sense of belongingness.
So that was a little video clip that Gary did with Knox City Council. So, Gaz, I've got one question for you that came out of that video.
Yep.
Do you normally pick up strangers off the street?
Only the ones I help, Matt. It changes their lives.
How come I walked past your house probably 200 times and about 50 or 60 of those it was peeing rain, you never gave me a lift?
You're not lonely. Actually, a funny story on filming that video. It was a wet day, and I drove past my neighbour and said, "Hey, do you want a lift?" Which is what I do normally. That's what it said in the video.
Yep.
Some of my neighbours, I drive them around. Anyway, she got it as she was getting in the car for the video. She fell out of the car onto the ground.
Oh, you're joking?
No, she landed on her back off the Prado. It was.
Oh, when she was getting in the car, was it that bit of the clip?
Yeah, she fell out. Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Of course, they edited that out. Yeah.
So you consult highly with Knox City councils and other councils,
Yep.
don't you? And
Yep.
you write a lot of papers and things like that.
Yeah, I help the Age-Friendly Cities project for the Knox Council. I help them form the strategy and the projects to be delivered over the 5 years. The final report's being done now to go to the World Health Organization.
Oh, lovely.
I do a few other things with the council on committees. The other thing I really love doing is I work in the scientific community around the the Australian New Zealand Musculoskeletal Clinical Trial Network, which is all about I'm a consumer representative and making sure what the professors and the scientists and the learned people are designing for clinical trials is going to make a difference to us in the community with health issues, i.e. osteoarthritis and things like that.
Oh, cool. All right, well, that's a bit about Gary, everyone. Lucas, we don't need to talk to you. Everyone knows what you do and how you do it. And no, I'm just kidding.
Gee.
I'm just kidding. Now, I'll just quickly add this in. So for all your club sportswear, workwear, branded clothing and merchandise, Hooded Life has the highest quality clothing and experience. Hooded Life can design your club's bowls wear, all the while being Bowls Australia branded. So they're my clothing sponsor of MJB. As you can see, all my gear is done by Toddy Simmons at Hooded Life. So if you want to check his stuff out, go to hoodedlife.com.au. So, Lucas, on to you. Most people know what you do and who you are and what you're about, but for the people that don't, we'll just quickly go through it. So, as Gaz mentioned before, you were born with cerebral palsy, and you've had what? How many surgeries? 5 now?
Oh, gee.
Throughout your lifetime?
Yeah, I reckon at least 5 that I can remember myself. Plenty of Botox, plenty of surgeries and lots of physio and gym work and all that kind of stuff to get myself where I am today.
Righto. Now, I did hear in one of your videos, because I've actually done, can you believe this, guys? I've actually done research for this show.
Wow.
Like going back to,
That's
it was
impressive.
like going back to school again. I've actually researched stuff. Now, you mentioned in one of them, Lucas, that you play basketball.
I do. Yes. Yeah, I do. So, back when I was in with his father, who Andy, or his dad, and he plays in a normal, in a mainstream basketball team, and I've always wanted to go and have a watch and just watch the game because I really enjoy my basketball because of my uncle coaches in the high leagues,
Yep.
the NBL, and so I went down and have a watch, and they said to me this one day, they said, "Why don't you have a crack and we'll just throw the ball down to you and you just put the ball in." And so I joined the team with them, and that was, what was that, 2012 now. So I've been playing since then. So really enjoyed it, and they've included me with open arms, and I've had some good games, had some terrible games, but I don't do a lot of running. Obviously, I don't want to get myself too injured because of bowls or something major coming up. So I just play just to keep running. That's mainly my own thing why I want to play basketball and play. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. There you go. Now I've noticed. I don't know if you did it last year, but you've been for a couple of years now. You've done September as well.
Correct. Yeah. So September is a good initiative of donating money for people who live with cerebral palsy. And in September, you have to do 10,000 steps a day for every day in September, from the 1st of September till the 30th. So during COVID, I had a colleague of mine at Bowls Australia, Leah Lazaro, who was doing it, and she was doing it with her family, and I've always spoken to Mum about trying to do it, but we never had a chance to do it because we're so busy playing bowls. We just never had the chance. And when I saw the post on Leah, I gave her a call and say, you know what, this could be a good thing that we can do as a business to get to know more people and good team priority within COVID, because obviously this is the only way we can speak to people. And so we did it as a group, and obviously COVID came at a good time. So, you only were allowed that 1 hour outside. So I decided to do it, and I wasn't never going to do it alone. So I got Mum to do it with me, and I got 364,000. I think it was about, they're going to be like 500 and something. I can't remember what the year usually was. And then obviously 2021, we had COVID again. So I said to Mum, I'm going to try and beat it and see how I can go. And I didn't really think about it. I just kept going, and lucky enough got up to 400,000 in about 96 steps or something like that. So obviously, so 2022, one of the staff members, I asked her if there's any way I can try and meet up with September and tell them my story. And so I got in contact with them, and I've done quite a few guest speakers with them, and I've really enjoyed it. So I tried to do it the 22 and got myself sick, and then I did it last year and got myself sick again. So hopefully this year I'll give it a good crack. But it's really good and good to keep yourself fit, and and donate a good cause to September.
And how do people get onto that? Through your Facebook, I'm sure. Or
yeah,
Insta?
so I'll put a link up on Facebook page, or even in Instagram, and that will donate money, and every bit counts, as they say, Matt.
Yeah, that's true, mate. That's true. Now, I want to get onto your sponsorship deals, mate. How many have you got now? You got Right at Home. Everyone knows you got Right at Home. I mean, Gaz, come on. This bloke just runs around. I don't think he has to pay for anything. He doesn't have to pay to go anywhere. Everything's all paid for. Like, so what do you got?
He doesn't pay for anything.
No, he doesn't pay for a damn thing. Did you? Well, I won't get. No, I was going to ask the question. Did you have to pay to go up to Queensland? But I won't go there. I think we can all
let's not go there.
Take an educated guess on that one. So, Right at Home is one of your sponsors?
You're correct. So I'm the brand ambassador for Right at Home. So they're a self-care at home, pretty much. So instead of Gaz or myself or an elderly going into a retirement village, they'll come to you at your own house, and they'll do whatever you need at home. So if you need like a cleaner, they'll come and clean the house for you. If you need some people to take you to community sport, so like bowls or swimming and that kind of stuff, they'll take you to that. And then obviously they'll take you shopping and all that kind of activities.
I'm well versed in that, mate, because my other half actually works for the opposition. So she works for Home Instead. So and one of my other good mates, Dave Gibson, also works for Home Instead. So look, they're really good. They're starting to pop up everywhere, these types of organisations, and I think it's great that these organisations are able to care for people within their homes. So like you said, they're not being shoved off into retirement homes. They're still able to get about, do their own things, but it's really about giving them a helping hand, you know, because some clients you do 5 days a week, other clients you do 3 days a week. And it's only a couple of hours, you know, depending on the needs, but, you know, it's only a couple of hours here and there. So it keeps people out of the retirement home system to take the sort of ease off, you know, that sort of field, because we know there's been a lot of trouble with that in the past.
I was going to add, Matt, that when I started with Right at Home, which was 2022, they said to me that we want to try and spread the word as far and wide as we can in Victoria, and obviously Australia, and see how many offices we can get, and get the brand out there as far and wide. And I said, no worries. So when I signed up, they already had an office in Warrnambool, and so I went out there and had a look around, and quite a nice looking area. And was to try and get somewhere in Melbourne. Right at Home told me that we finally got a office opened up in Glen Waverley, which is obviously near our areas. And I was super excited because it took a little load off me of what to do in our area, because and then from then on I can go from there to building a brand within our clubs.
Yep.
And then from then we got one in Brighton as well. So I thought, oh, here we go. I'm ticking off all these boxes in Melbourne quite quickly. So it's building, which is beautiful, which is great, and obviously around Australia wide. So
Yep.
yeah, so we probably only had maybe four to five locations within Victoria to now having 5 to 6. So
Yep.
it's great, and we'll get another. We've got 49 offices now, so yeah,
Growing pretty
hopefully
quick.
get half a century before we know it.
Ah, nice. Now, for those who don't know and probably haven't seen, Lucas is actually in a Right at Home ad. I was recently up in Ararat for a tournament up there because I got family up there. And what do I see when I get up there? I see Lucas's head on my grandmother's TV. So for those who haven't seen it, here's Lucas's ad.
I'm Lucas. I was born with cerebral palsy. It affects my legs and my hands, but it's never really stopped me. As a kid, I had a lot of surgery and didn't know if I'd ever be able to play sport. My family and my friends are my biggest fans. I'm proof that with the right support and a focus on your ability, you can achieve your dreams. Right at home, in home care and assistance. Let's start talking about living. rightathome.com.au.
Matt.
Yes, it is all about you too, Gary. Yes, it is. All right, well, Lucas, we'll finish up because, look, as I said before, you know everybody. Everybody knows you. You're known as the silent assassin, or the smiling assassin, not the silent assassin, the smiling assassin. And if people want to know why, it's because everywhere Lucas goes, he's got a big smile on his face. And the one problem I have with Lucas actually, yeah, but the one problem I have with Lucas is, the one problem I have with Lucas is every time I've played Lucas twice in a tournament, have been due to get the money in these tournaments. Lucas rocks up, big smile on his face. Hey, Matty, how you going? Yeah, good, mate. How many games you won? Yeah, I've won 3. We're due for the money. How many you won, Lucas? None. And guess who rolls me every time? Unreal. That's twice you've got me out of the money, Lucas, and you haven't won a game all day until you play me.
Actually, we did play against each other at was it the top of the hill?
King of the Hill.
I think King of the Hill, yeah.
Oh yeah, at Mitcham, and we kept going back and forth. Yeah, we won't go into that.
We came out backwards and forwards from each other.
But, no, that was a shocking day. Next time I'm going to drink all day, I think. Or otherwise, I'm going to bid early for those.
Responsible.
Or yes, okay, Lucas. But yeah, no, I'm going to bid early on those next time I'm there. Because I think the second highest rank went for 65, and then they jumped up to 100 after that. So you should have a look at playing that, Gary. The King of the Hill tournament at Mitcham.
Okay. Is it pairs or triples?
It's pairs.
Pairs.
Yep.
And basically there's an auction at the start of the day. So there's 14 or 16 rinks. And what you do is you auction off to be in the first however rinks, or you basically an auction off for your rinks. And that's where you start. And the idea is that if you win an end, then you move up a rink. If you lose the end, then you go down a rink. And at the end of the day, whoever's on the front, whoever's on rink number 1 wins.
Cool.
Yeah. But Lucas and I just kept going back and forth between 13, 14, 15, 13, 14.
Oh, don't get me started. I hate those. I actually got myself so excited. Got down to 4, and I could see number 1 in sights, and but Blinken and I were in rink 11 or 12.
Yeah,
so it works. So when's that? What month?
It's on Father's Day.
Yes, that's right.
Cool.
Yes, because Zach normally plays with his old man Alan.
September. Okay, cool.
Yes, put that in your diary. So, Lucas, we'll go over all the titles and stuff that you've won, just so everybody knows what you've done here and what you've done there. So you're currently in the, what do they call it? The emerging Jackaroos.
Emerging para Jackaroos.
Emerging para Jackaroos, righto. And you're also in the Victorian para squad?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe so. Yes.
No, you believe so? Well, you don't know if you play for
Well,
Victoria or not.
I was last year, so we haven't had our trials out for this year. But
Oh, you have trials. All right. Now, here's an interesting stat I picked up today, Lucas, and you can ask all your mates at Bowls Australia as to what the hell's going on here. So I counted 75 players that play for Australia. Now, how many of them do you reckon are Victorian?
Okay, I reckon. Wow, there's a lot. I reckon maybe around that. I'll go 20.
Try 9.
Like
No, it's
Test,
not a big
9.
number.
It's like the bloody Test cricket squad.
No.
I was going to say,
If you don't come
just
from
like Test cricket,
if you don't come from Queensland or New South Wales, you don't get a gig.
So there's a funny stat that that I always bring up with, well, Tony Sherrill always brings up with me, and he's the Bowls Vic CEO. There's a lot of players that used to live in Victoria that are now in Queensland or New South Wales. Now, if they all came back to Victoria, how strong do you reckon Victoria would be if they all came back?
So they live in Queensland.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they should still be
Well-
Victorian. See, this is where it gives me the irrits because they should
This is
still.
where it gets a bit confusing, right? And I know we're live, so we can't really say too much detail.
Well,
here.
you can't. Gary and I
But,
can.
you can.
Gary and I can.
but you guys can't, obviously. But I'm guessing wherever they're born. So let's say like I was born in Melbourne, I should be playing for Victoria. So
That's right.
So if you're born in Tassie, Matt, you should be playing for Tassie.
State of origin.
Yeah, but I was born in Melbourne, so I'm safe.
Even.
But yes, no, I completely,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because at the moment it's based on your home club, isn't it? Yeah,
correct. So it's just club wise.
yeah. So if I'm good enough and I go to
Really?
Tweed or Broadbeach,
So-
will I still play for Victoria?
You'd be
I should.
well.
Should.
You should be, yes, because your
Yeah.
first club was at Baronia. Then you should be Victorian.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, that's controversy.
Yeah.
That's controversy too, because you've moved away, that gives opportunities for other in your home state to play for the
Yeah,
state.
but Gary, look, as we
That's what
know,
I'm saying, Gabs. That's what I was trying to say.
yeah, but as we know, and you know, bowls in Victoria last for 6 months. All right, so March. Oh, well, okay, we'll say 8, because we don't have a lot of indoor bowls clubs that we can just cruise around to and play every week. Whereas, especially in Queensland, they pretty much bowl all year round. Northern New South Wales is the same. So anybody that gets half decent goes, well, I'm going to go and play in Queensland.
Well, I'd move up too. I'd go too, but I
Oh,
can't
that's what I'm
do that.
saying. If I could, I would, but
I wouldn't, because there's not enough football down up here.
oh, well, that's well.
That's fun. That's funny.
There we go.
Essendon, like, if they relocate Essendon, you'll be there.
Yeah, right.
If Essendon
Okay.
changed from Melbourne and Queensland, I'll be there, definitely.
All right. So I'm going to wipe out that question that I was going to ask for you jointly. So yeah, I won't go there. But look, before we get to, because I've got a couple of joint questions and we just want to go over disability, but I've got questions for both of you at the same time. So look, Bowlswear are the largest manufacturing of bowls clothing in Australia with a large choice of colours and styles. They are your go-to for bowls clothing. You can find them at your local bowls shop or online. So gents, these are the questions, and I was talking to Gary about this the other week. So this is why I sort of wanted to have you guys on for the first episode, is to go through how disability works in terms of bowls and things like that. So I'll fire off the first question. You can take it in turns answering or however you want to answer. And Gary sort of answered. Gary sort of answered this for me, but I want you guys to sort of answer anyway, just for, again, I don't know enough about disability, and this is why Gary and I were having this chat, and I wanted to get you two both on, because I'm not on my Odie cologne when it comes to not knowing enough about the para side of bowls and the disability side of bowls. And I think I wanted to sort of do this as my first episode to sort of educate people out there on this side of how it all works. So first of all, what's the difference, or is there any difference between like disability and para? Like, what's the terminology we should be using these days if we're talking about this kind of stuff?
You want me to talk first, Lucas?
Yeah, you can go. Say
Okay.
your answer, and then I'll say mine.
Okay, so disability bowls is bowls. First of all, bowls is an all-ability sport, Matt.
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't matter how you are, you can bowl. Deaf,
Yep.
blind, hearing impaired, or I said that. Physical disability, mental disability, you can still bowl, and we do in our clubs every day. But disability bowls is just another method of bowling, just like the bowls guys with an arm bowl in the separate championships and separate competitions. They bowl together because they bowl with an arm. Okay?
Yep.
So they have disability bowls championships and training days and bowls days and things like that. And para bowls is something I wanted to get initiated. I'm on the Victorian Bowls Disability Support Committee. It was one of the first things. Why is it called disability bowls? It should be called para bowls. All abilities is what the term they used, but it's para bowls now. And para bowls means we're bowling in parallel with people that bowl normally, or people without disabilities. So I ran in para athletics, okay?
Okay. Yep.
Paralympics stuff. And it's all about, you can run athletics normally, but they have a separate championship or title or Olympics called Paralympics, okay?
Yep.
So para bowls is generally a term used more in championships. It's run in parallel with the other competition, the competition that we can bowl in still, but it's a separate competition. And they have a state title for
Arms.
bowls, arms as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no different to that. It's just another opportunity for us to bowl in.
Okay. Lucas, anything to add?
No, I think Gary got it on the string there. No, I like what he said then.
Okay.
And also too, with when people come and watch our when people come and watch our state championships, for instance, yes, I won, but there was people there that that like when we're all together, everyone hangs not shit on together, but we all hang a bit on each other, because that's what the way of our nature is. We think, why are you playing on one leg, or why are you bowling with one leg? It's the way we all are, and why do you walk different? Why do you do this? And if we're better off hanging people on our own than our best of humor on each other, than doing it in public or with other members, because we could get offended to it. So you feel a bit more open-minded, and we're all still out there to try and win a title at the end of the day, but we're still there to have a bit of fun as well. So
Gary has mentioned that to me in the past.
Yeah,
Gary has mentioned that to me in the past, that you all hang shit on each other.
Yeah, so it's like nothing you've seen, Matt.
Yeah.
For someone to come and watch a state title, or a championship of disability,
and we all
bowls,
take it quite seriously too, though.
We're very serious. We're absolutely serious, but we absolutely have the best fun ever. And when people see it, they go, "I can't believe what I'm seeing." We're the happiest people in the world bowling together, and you see some really good bowlers bowling, but it's absolute fun.
Yeah.
And, And when people see it, it freaks them out. We go to a new club in Bendigo for the state title, the people just freak out about the whole day and how fun it is.
Yep.
And what we do.
Oh, that's good. So it probably should be more fun across the board. But anyway, won't get into that.
Right, don't go there.
All right, now
Cool stuff.
with parabols. Okay, so Lucas, for example, I'm just having a look at my stats here now, and you've done it this year as well in the state titles. But I'll put this out to everyone. So in 2019, Lucas won the National Para B5/6 pairs. Now, I'm a little bit educated about this, but I'm only because I asked Gary a couple of weeks ago. So can you guys explain how the classifications work just for everybody? Because, again, Joe Blogs off the street, i.e. me, would look at that and go, righto, National Para B5/6 pairs. Oh, well done, Lucas. You've won the Australian pairs in Para, but no idea what the classifications are. And I've also, and it's probably a decent topic to bring up because the Olympics are coming up and the Paralympics, which use exactly the same classification. So if you guys can explain that, that'd be good.
Well, I can try. I'll try myself, and then Gaz, you might want to put in if you know more than I do. Are you happy with that?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so best way I can explain it, Matt, is it comes down to your balance on the mat and how you walk in general day in life. So my balance, I couldn't put like a right foot in front of another for an example, and it took me a while to get used to that.
Yep.
And then once I got better, my balance improved, especially on the mat. So if you like to think of it, I couldn't stretch my hamstring to do a really long kick. So my arch with my hamstring can only go in a space of a 30 cent ruler.
Yep.
if you know what I mean by that. So that's how far my hamstrings can go, and it comes down to obviously as well. It comes down to balance on the green. So it's not much how you play the game; it's more how you balance on the mat. So with me, I did a fixed stance before I used my stick that I'm using today, and it came down to my balance and how I can keep left on one foot up off the air and everything like that. And they gave me a classification of B6, and I didn't like it at the time because as Gary Cartwell knows, Josh Barry, he's a B7 and B8, sorry, because his balance is a lot more better than ours. So he can do a lot more like of the running, but he hasn't got much of a limp than what I do or Gaz does. So he can do a lot more better stuff than what we do.
Therefore, B1 and B2 are the.
I don't think B1 and B2 is within our para stuff, but they're more with the blind and the intellectuals. I think I'm not really sure. I haven't really came across them before. Gaz, have you? I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. So you explain it well, Lucas, because classification is all about your ability to be able to move, and it's all about your strength, your mobility, your coordination. Okay.
Yeah, that's yep.
Okay. Now, for me, I used to do athletics as a normal athlete. We talked about it at the start of the interview.
Yep.
I had a big accident, and I started playing bowls. Eventually, after years, when I decided to play bowls, I did athletics. I did para athletics, and I was classified exactly the same as they do in bowls. Your doctor has to fill out forms to say you're disabled. Then you have to go before internationally classified physiotherapists who run you through a program of exercises and coordination and jumping and all sorts of things, and they decide that you are disabled.
Yep.
And what classification you might fit in.
Okay.
So when I started bowling, I rang up Bowls Victoria. Probably the second week I bowled, I'd probably only put down 20 bowls in my whole life. And I said, "Do you have disability bowls?" And guess what? I rang Bowls Victoria, and guess who answered the phone?
Yeah, I was just about to say, guess who answered the phone?
Lucas answered the phone. He goes, "Oh yeah, we do. We have disability bowls. You know, job done. I can bowl as a disability bowler if I get classified."
Oh really? I did. Oh wow.
See again, hey, Lucas is bloody everywhere, isn't he?
He's everywhere.
Hey, you ring Bowls Victoria.
I don't remember that.
You ring Bowls Victoria, you get Lucas on the end of the phone. You ring Bowls Australia, you get Lucas on the end of the phone. You ring Right at Home, you get Lucas.
On the end of the phone.
Where are you not, mate? Where are you not in this world of?
I'm not the football. No.
You're still working for Bowls Vic.
Yes, go on, Lucas. You volunteer for Bowls Vic.
Yeah, so it's another long story, Matt. But with me, I thought because of me working and I wanted to try and give back to the sport what they gave me.
Yep.
And I rang up Bowls Vic, and I was doing work experience there already within my TAFE, and I said to him, "Am I able to get like a volunteer job just to come in one day a week and help out?" And they said, "Yeah, no worries." So I think when Gaz rang, I was doing the pennant results, and back in the good old days, you had to check off all the pennant scores as they came through. And when Gaz rang up and said, "Can I be involved in the disabilities?" I said, "Yeah, for sure." So I was the person who's on to, I think it might have been Scott Nichols back in the time. And he answered that. And but it's all about giving back to the sport. Yeah. That's pretty much how I got started at Bowls Vic, and then
No, cool.
And so Lucas put me on to Scott, and then Scott arranged for me to sent me a form for the doctor to fill in.
Yep.
So I had to go to the doctor's, doctor fill in the form about what the issues are, and then I got assessed by the physio.
Yep.
Once the physio assessed me, they decided what classification I was. So
okay.
So Lucas is a B6, yeah. I'm a B8.
Yeah, I am. Yep.
So I'm the lowest level of disability.
Okay, so it's flipped in terms of the classification. B8's as close as you can get to an able body. B1's the furthest you can get.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So,
okay.
So when you talk about Lucas winning a Australian title in a B5-6 classification, that's because there's not enough people just in B6. Lucas B6 classified. So they combine the categories that are fairly like each other. So me, I bowl in B8. So they have a championship for B7 and 8. Okay, so that's how they do it. And as I say, go on, Lucas.
No, so they used to before. So the Commonwealth Games, Matt, because this is how our nationals were going by. Before we were all split up, we actually were playing together and against each other. So we didn't know. We didn't know by our state championships, for instance. I always played Gaz or we actually never played against each other, Gaz, but we always got to play against each other because. Actually we did. That's right. And the Commonwealth Games had to have one B5-6, one B7 and one B8 within the triples.
Yep.
And then they got rid of the triples. So then they had to split us up between 5 and 6 singles to try and get the best B5-6 for the national team.
Oh, yeah.
So everywhere else had to go together to make that.
Oh, cool. All right.
That's good.
So that's okay. So people understand now. B8. Or there must be other classifications, yeah, for the blind.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
the
there's
lower Bs. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the lower ones.
Okay. So B is a classification for everybody, or is it?
Is bowler. You're a bowler.
Okay, so it's okay. So it's not like the Olympic Games where they have a completely different or similar classification, but
It's similar. See, I was in para athletics, and I was in the squad for the Sydney Olympics.
Yep.
And I was a T37, which wasn't the lowest level, the second lowest. Like Lucas is for his, he's down a little bit.
Yep.
I was T37, so I was able to race as a T37. But in Australia, they didn't have enough to race as a single division, so they combined the T37s with the T38s, which is
Yep.
the lowest level.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope that helps
confusing,
everyone
yeah.
out in terms of, especially, like I said, especially with the Olympics coming up, it's handy to know, to be able to sit back, go, oh yeah, right, this is a T15. I've got an idea of where they're at and what the classification is. So
Keeping in mind too, Matt, that people will be wanting to know if bowls is in the Olympics. It's actually not an Olympic sport. So, but bowls doesn't have enough countries that play bowls.
yeah.
So
No,
that's
but
why bowls is within the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah. No, but I was talking more about with the Olympics coming up. If people are watching Paralympians and they all of a sudden see a T15, they'll have an idea of... No, that's all right, mate. That's all right. Okay, one of the last questions for you. Do you guys have enough opportunities to play in tournaments, etc.? It's a question for you. Are there enough para tournaments around? I know there's a few integrated tournaments, which Gaz has asked me to play in a fair few. But do you believe there's enough? Should there be more? Should the clubs be saying, hey, let's... Yes or no? I don't know.
Programming.
Guys, I was just about to say that. So it's more programming for us at the moment because there's a lot of, so especially like Gaz, myself, Annette, there's just to name a few that we always go within with what our clubs are doing. So there's always something like a region event, for an instance, that could clash with a disability event. So I know in for myself, and I've openly spoken about this to Mum as well, that if it was me, I would always go for the region event first because that's obviously going to get me to the next stage of my bowls career.
Yep.
And there's, and if there was a disabled event and I had a buy for that day, then yeah, I'll try and get in the disabled event. But things like the nationals, there's things like the state championships and trialing, and they're more of my priorities at the moment than trying to play in a Berwick games than disability. But in terms of tournaments, I reckon we've got just enough now.
Okay.
I think personally, but I don't know about you guys, but what about you?
Yeah.
What do you think?
We've got enough, and I think we have got enough because there's a couple around now that the clubs have started themselves, and it's really cool. But Lucas is different to me because it's different priorities and different things like that. So if I'd entered a integrated pairs or a disability competition and a club championship came up after I'd already entered the other thing because I hadn't put the program out yet or something, I'd bowl in the disability tournament, not the club championship.
Okay.
I wouldn't drop out. Okay. So because I'm not as good a bowler as Lucas, that's in my opinion, but we all know that I'm probably better than him on the day. But
correct.
But it's my priority would be if I enter the competition first, that's what I want to play. But there are quite a few disability tournaments around now, and why we don't have more is because it's all about what's the programming of bowls in Victoria. It's a pretty full calendar all the time.
Yep. Okay. No, fair enough. Fair enough.
And it's a hard thing to do. I've talking about this to quite a few clubs already, Matt, and it's hard to put a tournament in together for a disability event because you need so much help, so many volunteers, and trying to find the right date is the most hardest thing out of everything, and trying to find the right format as well. You know, if you're going to play triples, you got to try and have a mainstream player who can help kick back the bowls because that's what we struggle with the most. If you play with pairs and you're going to have if it's only a disability event, you've got to have people there to kick bowls back for you because that will not be, wasting time and all that kind of stuff too. So it is a big job to try and put a disability tournament together. And, the more we can get within Victoria, it's going to be better for our stage side to come together and not just stateside, but other players as well, just like Gaz, to come and have a go and have fun.
All right.
And
Well,
we have state. We call it the state squad. So if you're just a bowler, you're in the state squad, and we have training days and things like that. So they fit in between everything else going on as well. And it's good because we get the state level coaching at those days, and we have fun together too.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Now, and this is a quick question. You can answer basically yes or no, and needs to improve is, so out on a scale of 1 to 5, the ones. Yep, it's poor, needs to improve, etc., etc. Disability facilities around bowls clubs. So I know Gary and I have had this discussion, but Lucas wanted your input as well because, look, you're up north, so you probably see a lot more bowling clubs and things like that than we do. But do you think that needs to be looked at and improved upon?
I personally think, yes, it needs to be better.
Yep.
There's got to be a lot more better. In saying that too, though, which we pushed back when I started playing bowls, which is 20 years ago now. Heatherdale Bowls Club actually, how we've got the hooks around the greens. So Heatherdale actually never had hooks. They always had a step. They actually put your foot on to get up on the bank. And they never liked using it because it could damage the ditch to get in. And I said, hang on, so how am I supposed to get up? Because I've got no chance here. And then so we as a family, I'm going to say this not so rude, but we had to argue with the club because we thought, why can't we just get little hooks around the greens, and then not just for myself, but for other people that need and use it to get up and over to get on the bank. And they said, and then I had thought about a big stepping stone in that regards. But most clubs now you look around and there's hooks around. Up here in Queensland, I'm not going to speak for too big, but there's not a lot of them. And I know at Broadbeach there's hardly any. So, but I go okay to get up and over. But if it was someone in a wheelchair, they struggle to get up and over as well. So there's not enough wheelchair access as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's one question I was going to ask is wheelchair access because I've sort of got first-hand experience now with wheelchairs and things like that. So it's more, that was the other question. Yes, Gaz?
I just want to also say most bowls clubs were built a long time ago.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, they're all in places with great views. Everything's good. And they're all built with lots of stairs. Okay, there's stairs everywhere.
Yep.
There's not many ramps. It's hard for bowlers to get around. And I remember my first Australian Open, Disability Australian Open on the Gold Coast.
Yep.
It was at Musgrove Hill. Now, Musgrove Hill is on a hill. and they had 3 disability car parks.
Yeah.
They had 3 disability car parks at the top of the hill.
Oh,
And
no.
we're all disability bowlers.
Yeah.
You had to walk up this bloody great hill to get to the club. And there were people that really, really, really struggled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think
So
it's
all about thinking about...
do we think it's a federal thing, or do we need to go to each state government and say, hey, we've got to have a look, you know, bowls is getting bigger. It's a sport for all abilities, and, you know, it really does cater for every type of person. But, hey, guys, we've got a major hole in terms of wheelchair access, for example, which is probably the main one. Who forks for it?
Well,
And honestly, we're not talking millions of dollars, are we? You know, capital works to get a place, you know, wheelchair.
Putting in ramps and does cost money. And some clubs are really bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at you know Baronia, Matt. So
Yes.
they built a new decking and did all this stuff.
Yep.
And the council ensured they had disability access.
Yes.
You can move around that club anywhere you want to go. There's ramps. Okay. There's disability toilets, disability showers. It's like I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's the best setup condition, and it's got hooks, Lucas, and
stairs.
Steps where you get down, and stairs. It's a really good club, but to do that for a club, it's a major rebuild.
Yeah.
See, they did it because they wanted to make the club better.
Well, at that stage, it was council rules. They said, right, you're putting on a big decking, but council rules stipulate that you have to have this. Your ramps can only be a certain degree and everything else. So it was pretty. Yeah. But look, I just did some sums, and this is honestly, other people can take this and run with it as much as they want. Right. So if you spent $30,000 at the 500 clubs across Victoria, that's $15 million. You can't tell me that the Victorian government can't find $15 million in the budget, considering they're spending $1.5 billion and $5 billion on stupid projects.
No, well, if we stop a stupid project, maybe you could do it, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah,
that's the fact.
There you go, Lucas.
I wasn't saying anything like, you know, like around our area, for instance, everyone's got hooks.
Yep.
And everyone's got ramps and everything like that. I'm just saying, in general speaking, there's a lot of things we can do a lot better within a disability kind of area within the bowling clubs. But all in all, it's getting better, but it's not there yet. But it's on the horizon, that's for sure.
Yeah. Now, just finally, and then I've got some really quick fire questions for you. Lucas, I know you haven't seen this video yet. But I wanted to play it. I actually saw it, thought it was bloody unreal. Apparently, it's gone absolutely viral. So the video was for Down Syndrome Day, and it was a video shot in America. It's an American ad. So this actually went out on television, I'm guessing, and etc. So, Lucas, you haven't seen it, but you can read the subtitles, I'm sure, hopefully. I just want to play it for the viewers and then get you a quick... view from you guys on what it's about. So here's the ad.
Hey bartender, you assume that I cannot drink a margarita, so you don't serve me a margarita? So I don't drink a margarita. Your assumption becomes reality. And parents, you assume that I cannot live on my own, so you don't encourage me to live on my own. So I don't live on my own. And teacher, you assume that I cannot learn Shakespeare, so you don't teach me Shakespeare.
Old MacDonald had a farm.
So I don't learn Shakespeare. E-I-E-I-O. But hey, if all your assumptions become reality, then assume that I can drink a margarita. Will you serve me a margarita? Assume that I can live on my own. So I live on my own. Assume that I can learn Shakespeare. So, what fools these mortals be? I learned fucking Shakespeare. You assume I can't swear, right? Assume that I can do that job. That I can go to parties. That I can have sex. Assume that I can. So maybe I will.
Don't worry, Gary was cracking a joke with Lucas behind the scenes. I'm not going to go into that. So what do you think of that, guys? I reckon that's probably one of the best ads I've seen in terms of, getting the word out there with disabilities to say, hey, you reckon I can't? And everyone treats me like I can't do this and I can't do that, but F you, I can.
It's called stereotyping, and that's what people do. Even though they say disability is almost mainstream now, it's not. People make assumptions because they treat you like they see you. So that's what that ad's all about. You don't look proper. You don't seem normal. So we treat you differently.
Yep.
And so that means you can't do things that we can do as an able-bodied person. And then at the end, once people understand that a disabled person is no different, they just have something affecting their functioning. So why can't they do normal things?
Yep.
So that's what that is all about.
Now, like I said, Lucas, when you finish up, I'll put it in our little Facebook chat group. Have a look at it. It's a brilliant ad. Absolutely brilliant. And they should show it on TV like five times a day after 9:30 where people can actually swear on TV.
Yeah. So for bowls, let me get in my other my other little soapbox. That ad makes me think of ageism too. So people discriminate on age, and bowlers are older people generally. That's what's sort of the thing of it all, and people are really treat people they see as old as not as good as them. You go to a doctor's, and a doctor will assume because you're a bit older, you don't understand what they're talking about. Just like a younger person can be in hospital or doctor. My daughter was in hospital a year ago, and she was having trouble with the surgeon. When I was there, the surgeon didn't even look at my daughter. My daughter was 23 years old. She just had an operation, but the surgeon talked to me. He didn't talk to her. It was ageist. He wasn't talk to her because she's too young. He wanted to talk to me because I'm older and wiser, so I'd understand what he's talking about. Yeah. So discrimination, like that was a good description of against disabled people, but it's also against aged people.
Yep. Yeah, look, I think there's long way to go in terms of a lot of things. And I think if we tackle it little by little by little by little, it won't be our generations, but it'll be generations that come after us that'll benefit, I think, from our mistakes. I mean, I know the types of things that I used to say and I used to joke about when I was, 13, 14. So it was only, 20 years ago. That's meant to be funny, Gary. Come on. It was only 35 years ago.
I got it too.
Yeah. All right. Couple of quick fire questions as I normally do for guests on my show, but I'm going to fire them off for you guys and it's live. Doesn't matter. We already know what got you guys into bowls. What keeps you in bowls? Gary, start with you. And they've got to be quick fire because we've been going for an hour and a bit now.
Friendship.
Yep. Lucas?
Agree.
Yep.
And work colleagues as well, for me.
Okay, favourite position to play, Gary?
Third.
Third? You go all right as a third too. I like you as a third.
As pennant. I'm talking pennant. Third.
Yeah, pennant, yeah. Lucas, go on.
No,
you're going to upset somebody, but say it.
Say it, Lucas. No one's watching.
Lucas, nobody's watching. And literally no one's watching. I think we've got one viewer, so go on. You skip. Do you skip at Heathmont? Oh, hang on. We've lost Lucas now.
Because
there we go.
I like me lead because I put the pressure on straight away. But
yeah,
I'd rather skip because you feel one-on-one.
Yeah, but I always say the lead is the second most important player on that team, apart from the skip. Skip's the most important. I reckon, personally, your lead's your second most.
Look, I agree now because I'm playing higher, but the only thing why I like skip because I can play bigger shots or put more pressure on the other skip to make them fail. But obviously as well though, if you're leading, I can talk to a lot of other different people and not concentrate on what I'm actually trying to do here.
Yeah.
So if I'm skipping, I'm more in the game.
All right. No worries.
You are, but leading's good too because you can set the game up. If you're on fire,
yeah,
you can control the whole game.
Well, I'll speak to the guys at Heathmont. I'm sure they've got a spot for you on the thirds as the skip.
No, do not say that. I'm happy to skip. I'm happy to lead, trust me.
No, it's on video, mate. No, it's on video. It's done. I'll speak to Doddsy later and just say, mate, what's the video? And you'll hear about what Lucas, where he wants to play next year.
Yeah, don't worry about Doddsy. No.
Be careful.
I played Doddsy in the pairs with Pete Dixon in the Vic Open.
Yeah.
They beat us by 1 shot. Yeah, 1 shot.
How is Pete going, by the way? My good mate Pete Dixon.
He's up. He lost in the singles yesterday in the Oz Open, 27-29.
21, you mean?
21, yeah, 21. And he was miles behind.
21.
Yeah, 21-17. That's not sorry.
Oh, they only played to 21 at the Oz Open.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Again, haven't been. Probably will never go, but it's too far. Plus, I don't earn enough money. Unlike Lucas, I haven't got sponsorship to get up there.
Gee, here we go.
Righto. I don't know about you two on this one. Gaz, start with you. Most embarrassing moment on the bowls green?
Oh, God.
Most embarrassing moment on the bowls green.
Well, that's easy for you, Gary, playing with me.
Probably. Yeah, the couple of calls you did at Garfield.
Hey, leave Garfield alone. Come on, next.
No.
Say that again.
A couple of calls he made at Garfield in a tournament we played in.
Oh, God.
Lucas, let's just say I was enjoying myself that day. I didn't have to drive, so I was enjoying myself.
Oh, God.
No, come on, Gaz. Have you got an embarrassing moment? You must have.
Oh, no, I can't think of any. Why would I be embarrassed by anything I do?
No, well, yeah, that's true.
I probably a wrong bias at the wrong time, or I don't know. I played the club championship one night in the Falls final, and it got so dark I couldn't see the jack because of my eye vision. So they had to put torches on so I could see where the jack was.
Didn't they have lights?
At the other end, they put torches on the jack. So
but they didn't. So they didn't have lights, or they just didn't turn them on.
No, those they were useless. They couldn't. They put them on. I still couldn't see the jack. So I had some guys with torches on the jack so I could work out where the jack was.
Well, that wouldn't happen these days. You'd have people with phones out like this.
Yeah, that's what it was like. Yeah,
all right, Lucas. Most embarrassing moment. Come on, you play heaps, mate. So you must have one.
Mine actually recently happened, and I actually vomited on the green.
Oh.
So.
Well, that's not self-inflicted embarrassment.
I've actually done it twice. So I've actually did it one in a pennant game at Doncaster. Now, have you guys both been in Doncaster?
Yes, unfortunately.
The big one in front of the clubhouse. It's about rink. I think it might have been about rink 5 or 6.
Yeah, right in front.
And I was bowling, and I thought, this doesn't feel too good, and I've done it. And Mum was like 2 rinks over, and a friend of ours said, "Oi, Lucas has gone bare," and she had a bit of a whoopsie. And then it just happened recently. We played a club championship, club triples semi-final, and I thought, I was feeling under weather, and I haven't eaten so much, and I was feeling a bit nervous, and anyway, I vomited, and I had to go from rink 9 to rink 10, and my first bowl, no joke, ask Mum, first bowl resting toucher. So,
Oh,
so
how unusual
and I
for
was
Lucas.
skipping too, mind you. So
Yeah.
I needed to get that spew out. That's
See,
for sure.
he's gone from most embarrassing moment to pumping up his own tyres.
Yeah,
I was
much.
skipping and I had a resting touch. And look at me, look at me.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
In the roll up too.
I reckon spewing up on the green isn't embarrassing.
No,
It's a badge of honour.
Hey, if it's a self-inflicted, Chuck. Well, I will raise this into. Okay, I'm just going to bring this up because not a lot of people have heard about this. Web Kona in Ballarat have a tournament every year. I was up at the Vic
Pairs
Open
one?
2 years ago. I don't know if it's pairs or not. I think it's more of a local tournament because I don't think it's a well sprouted one. But I was playing against some Web Kona guys a couple of years back. And they said, hey, Matty, you should come up for our tournament. And I said, oh, yeah, what's it about? And they said, oh, they call it last man standing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. What's it all about? And they said, 24 ends. So two games of 12 ends. And you got to have a stubby after every end. And I just went, oh, you're kidding. And they said, no.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why they call it last man standing. So basically in the space of 4 or 5 hours, you have to drink a slab to win the tournament.
No.
Yeah, serious. And they said the greenskeeper hates that we do it because there is that much yuck around the whole bowls green and like in the ditches and in the gardens. And they said, yeah, the greenskeeper hates it, but they said we make that much money off it every year that they keep doing it.
Yeah, well, we knew.
So yeah, they won't be having me anytime soon. So thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks, mate.
It was greatly
Matt.
appreciated. I hope it was fun. So we'll get it out there. I've only just realised because somebody said before nobody's really watching. Well, I forgot to share it out to all the Facebook groups.
That's all right.
Plus, we're going up against the Oz Open. I didn't know they were playing at night, but they are. So I just saw Bowls Australia.
You're recording it anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been recorded, so I'll end up posting it out. And because it is, look, it's a good episode. I wanted to be part of this. I wanted you guys to be part of this for the first episode to sort of get the word out about disability/para bowls and disability in life in general, just so we can all better appreciate what you guys go through on a daily basis, weekly basis.
Hey, Matt, I forgot to add in.
Yeah,
the other best part about someone asks me, like, do you feel sad that you have a disability or do you not? And I say, well, actually, I do feel proud of it because you have to always think a positive into a negative into a positive. Yeah. So for me, I always put a negative saying like, I can't play footy or rugby or soccer, but I can also, I can't drive, but when we do drive, we've got closer car park than anybody else.
Well done, Lucas.
Very good point, Lucas. Very good point. And on that note,
so Lucas,
go on.
Good luck for the next couple of weeks. Okay?
Yes, good luck at the Australian Open, mate.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
I wish I was up there.
Well, I'm sure anyone that follows Lucas on Facebook or Instagram, I'm sure for the next 2 weeks we'll see a lot of photos with Lucas running around in his right at home top that he's wearing right now. I can see it. Everybody, there we go. Everybody gets their little goodies bag, which you do. You hand out a lot of those bags, don't you?
Yeah. So it's quite good. So inside the bag, you get the bag, you get a brochure, you get a pen, sanitize, and a bowls cloth, which everyone loves. So
no.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky to get into this job.
They're not as good as my bowls cloths. Come on.
No. Right at home all the way.
No. Well, Lucas and Gary, as part of being on the show, you will be given a Matt Jackson bowls cloth, which you must use.
I've already got one and I use it.
Yeah, but that's all right. You get another one.
I haven't got one.
No, Lucas can get one as long as I get a right at home one. Oh, actually, if I bring that home, I'll get my backside kicked because, like I said, my other half works for the opposition. So,
No, you can have it. Don't tell your wife. It's all good. You can have it.
No, as I have said to you, Lucas, every man and his dog gets one of these packs, and how many times have I seen you over the last few years since you started being the ambassador? And do you reckon I've got one? No.
No, we haven't played against each other. That's why.
Oh, how many times have I seen you? Where can I have one of those bags? Nah.
Hey, excuse me. I played against Lucas last year in the Australian Open. He beat me, and I didn't get one.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what actually changed all this, Gaz, is that I said to my sponsor, I said, why don't we give out prizes to the people I play against, so then when they get something, they can use it while I'm playing against them. And I said, what a brilliant idea. So here I am. I got the idea of getting a bowls cloth and pens, and so
well done, Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas, if I remind you correctly, I believe I saw you in November last year at Churnside Park, where you were running around with right at home stuff. I even put you on my live stream feed, and I still get diddly squat. No, I get diddly squat. So that's all right, mate. Hey, we all know who our friends are.
Matt, when I see you, I will give you one. Trust me, I'll make especially one up for you.
Oh,
right?
Thanks, mate. And I'll give you I'll give you a Match Jackson Bowls, cloth, and might have a few other things by then. We'll see what happens.
Good man. You're a good man.
Thank you for today. It was good.
No, thank you, gents. Like I said, I forgot to share it out to all the Facebook groups, so no one knows we're going live, but thankfully it's all recorded, so I'll get it out there. Like I said, the more people that know about this stuff, the better. Thank you to you guys. You've educated me a lot on this stuff. Now I can sort of speak with having some knowledge about it. So as Lucas said, the more we get the word out, the better. So people, A, better understand, and B, can join in on the conversations without feeling like they haven't got a clue what they're talking about.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you very much, gents. That'll be it for the first episode of Match Jacks and Balls Live. We'll see you guys soon. This episode of Match Jacks and Balls is proudly brought to you by Hooded Life, your one-stop shop for all your bowling club needs, both on and off the green, in collaboration with Bowlswear Australia. Best service, best products, competitive prices. Go to www.hoodedlife.com.au and get hooded.